welcome to another edition of Let's Get Crystal Clear. I'm your host, Crystal Jordan, and I am here with R&B crooner who you probably remember him as a little boy. He's definitely all grown up now, sitting up here all bearded and fine.
Oh,
Sammie.
thank you so much. How you
Welcome.
doing? How you doing?
I'm good.
Thanks for having me.
Now it's Valentine's Day week.
That's right.
So it made sense that I would have you here.
Yeah, I'm all about
Day.
the love. I'm all about peace. I'm all about the ladies. So this is fitting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I said this worked out perfectly. We were looking to have him here last week, but it worked out
Alignment.
perfect. Yeah,
Alignment.
to get him here to talk about love, because I know from watching your Instagram and just being a fan and watching you kind of grow up that you're very vocal about things and you're not afraid to talk.
No, not at all.
So I want to ask you, because Black love is something that we talk about a lot. I talked to AJ Johnson a little bit earlier this week, and she was talking about the fact that so many times people focus on relationships from the outside, right, as opposed to the inside. Do you think that now people are focused on like what the relationship looks like more so than
social
what the
media,
relationship
I think,
is?
has influenced not just in the realm of love, but just us as people to just only post our highlights.
Right.
So with that being said, you don't focus on the results. Excuse me, you only focus on the results. You're not focused on the progress.
Right.
So when it comes down to love is work. It's hard.
Yeah,
it takes two different individuals, two sometimes religious backgrounds, two upbringings that's just so different, and you're trying to mesh and make this harmony. And you see a picture and it's like hashtag goals, but you don't know what the household entails. You don't know if it's some friction going on. So I think that we need to take time to really, really build a strong foundation from a friendship standpoint, a spiritual standpoint, especially when it comes to union, because I think without that you have nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I've heard you. You have a lot of wisdom for someone so young, even though you're older than you were when you started. But do you think that being in the entertainment industry, you have got a chance to kind of see things? Like you're watching what's going on, you're able to kind of talk about it. Do you think your experience is different than it would have been if you weren't an R&B singer?
Very much so. I've been in the business since I was 12, so I'm 32, but there's 20 years of my life. Like I know what it's like to be in the limelight longer than I do on earth without.
Right.
And then you have access to things. Like I was 18 in the clubs though, you know what I'm saying? I was in strip clubs and all that stuff at 18 years young. So I was just exposed to a lot of things that if of course I wasn't in the industry, I wouldn't have had access to.
Right.
But it gives you a sense of
probably
perspective.
respond to you differently than
on a daily. It's interesting though. Like I'm learning how to be more to initiate like the encounter with the woman, because I'm so used to women actually being aggressive and coming at me. So I'm a little shy when it comes down to if I see a pretty girl at the bar, like how do I approach? Because I really since I was 12 had to do that. Yeah. So that's interesting, but I like that too because it's teaching me to. I think a man is supposed to be intentional. He's supposed to lead and protect and provide. So the more I grow, the more I learn, the more I tap into my spiritual, and then just being engulfed in self and who I'm trying to become, and not ever settling and forever learning and staying open-minded. That's a refreshing part about the cards that I was dealt.
Yeah. One thing I admire about you is that even though you know a lot of times there's a lot of pressure put on child stars because you are supposed to, you were the biggest thing ever, and then you had a period of time where you were not doing what you wanted to do, probably it wasn't for reasons that weren't your own, right? And then you came back and things are a lot different. But you've been one of the few artists that's been very honest with their fans about what you were going through. Yeah. How did you make the decision to just kind of share what was really going on in your life?
It was the way God positioned it, you know what I mean? And I owed it to him. Like the second hiatus, so to speak, wasn't a hiatus at all. Long story short, my ex-manager took everything from me in 2009 while I was actually on Kiss Me Through the Phone with Soulja. Yeah. So I would like hide the truth. I would go perform in Jay Leno or Jimmy Kimmel Live, and then when I got back to Atlanta, I was carless, moneyless, credit cardless, bad credit. Like he took everything, you know what I'm saying? And I had a option to sell my soul, aka, and I'm not talking about Illuminati crazy. I'm talking about sell my soul and go back to a vile individual like that, or channel my inner king and my lion and get my relationship with God back to where I needed to be. And one day he'll put me back on the forefront, which he's doing in a beautiful way now. So I felt I owed it to them to tell them the truth, and I don't want to die with secrets. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
Secrets make you sick.
Yeah, you're masking who you really are.
Right.
And if you're depressed, say it out loud. If you're sad, say it out loud. If you're happy, be happy out loud. Smile out loud. And I guess as a celebrity or a public figure, I think it's my duty to be the poster boy that I'm still human. So there's somebody out there that needed to hear my story, because they're going through their own like obstacles and barricades, you know what I mean? And if I can make it, they can make it. And that's what I really put here to do, is to really inspire, spread godliness and love. Like all of this being famous and performing and being great at music, that's my passion. But my purpose is to just spread love.
Love that.
That's
When did
it.
you learn that?
I've always known.
You've always known.
Yeah, I've always had an anointing, as my grandmother would say, on myself since a young boy. Like since I was 12, 13, they always said I had a whole soul. So as I'm growing up in this thing called life, and of course I dive in the Word and I read books. I'm an avid reader. I'm always feeding my mind and my spirit. It's refreshing to feel this evolution of myself. You know what I'm saying? I can look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I salute you. You know what I'm saying? I have even my flaws. I'm not perfect at all. So, but I've always known that I was wired differently than most. I've always kind of been the leader. I don't follow. And then if I do follow, it's the person that's better at me than something.
That's big.
Knowing who to follow. So I know since I was a young kid that I was like gifted and very different from most.
For most people. What are you looking forward to? So this Millenium tour is a big deal.
Man.
I mean, this is like, you know, everybody on this tour has had numerous hit records, and it's
very much so.
You know, they have an audience that's grown up with them, and it's really like you said, your fans are like, we want Sammie on this tour. What are you most looking forward to?
I think this is the icing on the cake for me. I just talked about how we had a disconnect for 7 years while I was like grinding back to the top, and before the Shade Room gave me their platform to create a viral video that landed to a multitude of deals now and tours. This is like the icing on the cake where we get to go back in time to 1999 and I get to bring them all the way up to speed in 2020. And I just think the alignment of 2020 and everything, you know, being perfectly squared away for me is awesome. So really just reconnecting with them, you know. I'm also just completed my 5th studio album, so I fly out to like San Francisco Thursday to play it for the label, and then I'll drop it after the Millenium tour, go back on my solo tour maybe this fall. So it's just full of blessings, you know what I mean? And those 7 years of hard work, the last 4 have been so fruitful because of it. And I kept my faith and I kept my perseverance and kept my head on straight, stayed positive, and now I get to rock out in arenas for the next 3 months.
That's how many years.
So just reconnecting with the Sammie lovers, man, my day ones, like it's for them.
Your day ones are around the same age as you are,
because
you're like elementary school kids.
We grew up together.
We
grew up together, and that's the dopest part about my career, is that as a child star, it's hard to cross over to become a teenage heartthrob, so to speak, and then be taken seriously as a grown man. And it seemed to be a little effortless for me, and I'm so grateful that I didn't have to force myself on them. I didn't have to do something out of character to get attention. I'm simply standing, and hopefully that's enough. You know,
that's enough. And you see the evolution. How is it different? Because like people remember sweet Sammie, cute little sweet Sammie, and now Sammie is telling us to send nudes. How is your process for creating different than it was when you were younger? Because of course you had help.
My cheat code now is experience. I've been through so much. You know what I'm saying? Some healthy relationships. Some where I was the toxic one. Some where I received my karma for being toxic, maybe to the one prior to. One where I didn't do anything wrong. She just don't like my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And that was kind of different for me. So the greatest teacher in life is experience itself. So I just take those things.
Just dropping all types of old man.
I just take those experiences, and it creates beautiful music that resonates, because everyone goes through it. But a few people in R&B, or I would say R&B for the last 10, maybe 15 years, have strayed away from the essence of what it used to be.
There's been this whole conversation that R&B is missing. And I want to ask you, because I have a daughter that's younger than you, but she grew up where there's not really an R&B presence. You know, when she wants, like, there's no love songs for people that are, you know, 18, 19, 20, where it's just... It's
turn up, girls, money, the flash.
Bring a girl, another girl, and then it's not, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to do that, that's cool, that's awesome, but I'm just, there also is like, it's like missing, like, the love songs.
But the lane is wide open. I think that's why I was able to actually slide back in, because I'm him, although like my fans love it and they chose it. It was finally a record that was talking about it's not about just pull up and Netflix and chill. Like, let me take you out, let me get to know you, let me court you, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Are you? So you're into that?
Yeah.
Do you think other men are into that?
Not the masses, but there's a select community of us that, for me, I gotta really like you to rock with you. You know what I mean? I love my peace too much to be trying to like be around somebody just off of a, I hate to say it, lustful standpoint. Right. You know, because that's only going to entice me but for so long. But if I like your personality, if I like your story, if I think your intellect is admirable, well, what's your dream? What's your aspiration? What's your 5-year plan? Like, I really ask those questions. Right. You know what I mean? Right. That right there is more purposeful than just you're pretty and you think I'm handsome and we rock.
Yeah. What do you think, if you could give a lesson to like young girls, not people your age, but like young girls that are looking to, because I think a lot of times young women are influenced by what they think men want, right? And men are influenced by what they think women want. What do you think, what lesson would you want to give to young girls that are just coming up and they're looking at all the different images of women and what looks to be one thing? What lesson would you want to give them? If you had a daughter.
I've been blessed to be a godfather now to a beautiful 4-month-old Maddie. That's my little baby. She's still in my heart, so I'm getting my practice in. And my job and her father's job, Boogie, my man, we're gonna instill morals and ethics and love into her. Like self-love, again, I said, like self-love is the best love. I think a lot of women make mistakes and settle for men that's way beneath the bar because they never was loved or taught correctly that they're enough, that you're gorgeous and it's beyond your body. It's some inner beauty. It's this thing called the spirit in which resides in the shell. You know what I'm saying? Like, really go there with them from birth. It'll stick with them. You know, a lot of the things my mom and my dad told me when I was 8 years old, I'm 32 and it still resonates. You know, I might not have understood it to the degree, of course, but as I gotten older, those lessons, they stay with me. So I just think that it's important to, and I hold myself accountable as a 32-year-old celebrity that sings R&B music to always, even in my sex music, it's sensual. It's not just that's all you are as a body. You know what I'm saying? So just really, really stressing to the younger generation, though, especially that it's not about filtering out your blemishes. It's okay to be imperfect. There's no such being on this earth that's perfect. Everyone's flawed. We all make mistakes, and it's how you react and respond to those things. I think when we like praise the process more and stop looking at the results again, that's when the world will take a shift for the better.
Well, I don't think everyone's courageous enough to do that. So I salute you on being courageous enough to be the example. Because most people can't be the example.
But the strong part about it is like, how can you expose me if I'm exposing myself? You know what I'm saying? So if I tell you once upon a time I had nothing, once upon a time I was carless, once upon a time. You can't call me broke. I told you, I went through that part, of my life. And now I can tell you that I'm flourishing. I like that. You know what I'm saying? I use my own, weaknesses as my strengths.
That's got to be freedom. Because I know a lot of times you can feel, I know celebrities that can't, they may not have the money to do something, but they can't be seen in public because their money doesn't match what they're saying.
I think the best thing that happened to me was having success from 99 to 2001. And then my parents taking me out collectively to give me the best chance at having a sense of normalcy and going back to high school. So I was really that kid with the tall tees on. And I did have, guys didn't like me so much, but the girls did. I had security, but I played basketball 2 years. I was homecoming king. I was in the Renaissance program. I joined the choir.
That had to suck for other guys in your class.
Oh, they hated me. The guys did not rock with me until my junior year. It took a lot for them to embrace, But
that's
as
rough.
odd as it was, those were some of the best, most pure 4 years of my life because a lot of some guys that I'm on tour don't even know that part of their lives. They never got to experience that. They only know lights, camera, and action. And the sad poison about that is what happens when the world don't love you the same. Or what happens when the music changes and they don't rock with your music anymore. Then you turn to drugs or substance abuse or suffer from depression or suicide is a real thing. I don't have no disconnect with who I am outside of music. You know what I mean? I love being Sammie, the singer, songwriter, performer.
But you have a full life outside.
But I have a whole existence outside of that.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you on tour.
Thank you.
Tell people how they can find out where the tour is coming and all the information.
There's 32 cities, but you can go to gsquaredevents.com to see the scheduling. I'm excited to be out there. My IG is Sammie Always. My Twitter is Sammie Always. My website, SammieAlways.com. Facebook and Snapchat, Sammie Lee Bush. And thank y'all so much for having me back. I'm honored, humbled. Can't wait to rock.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you, Quinn. Happy day.
We'll see you guys next time. This has been Let's Get Crystal Clear. I'm your host, Crystal, and this has been Crystal with Sammie.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day. We'll see you guys next time.